Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm back again with another video today, and today's going to be something a little bit different, kind of weird, but I just got the idea earlier this morning, and it's a weekend, so I have some time to shoot this quick video for you guys. I wanted to make a quick video and talk about kind of a weird subject, which is shoes. What kind of shoes should you be wearing on a film set? There are a few resources online. I've read some threads in the past on random websites of people talking about what their preferred shoe is for different jobs and different roles on a film set, and I figured I wanted to do the same and talk about it today because there's not a lot of people talking about it. So, I'm trying to not do videos that have already been made, or I'm trying to cover topics that aren't already really popular. So in case anybody is interested in learning about this stuff or has a question, then hopefully I can provide the answer or at least offer my insight. So I have three pairs of shoes here: a sneaker, sort of like a hiking style shoe, Merrell brand, and a Columbia brand boot, or like a hiking boot or something along those lines. So yeah, three different kinds of shoes, and I wear them all on film sets for different reasons. And I actually just bought these sneakers today because I found that there was sort of a gap in a type of footwear that I really needed on a film set, and I'll talk about why it's so important just to have a nice lightweight pair of like running shoes. But anyway, I'm gonna start from the boot first, talking about why you probably need a boot. Well, the good thing about this is I'm gonna be offering my insight for all three of these types of shoes. These are the best three shoes, in my opinion, that you could be wearing on a film set, and then you can pick which one of these three you think is best for you for the types of work that you do, or if you want to get all three, or maybe two of them, or if you don't want to get any of these three because you do something else. But yeah, so the boot I'll start with first because the boot is the first type of shoe, type of footwear that I would wear on a film set. I got these back in high school, and they're still in great condition, and they just take a beating. I used to only really wear these when I was doing like yard work and mowing the lawn and stuff like that. But or like if I was in the wintertime and I was hiking through the snow, or if it was really muddy outside, I would wear shoes like this, and that's pretty much the same sort of application that they have on a film set. The last time I wore these, I was key gripping for a short film that was being shot on location at a landfill, actually, and it was a really rainy day at that landfill, and so it was really, really muddy. And these, you wouldn't want to wear something like this to that set. So these were really the only option, the only type of shoe that you'd want to wear in that kind of environment. And that kind of environment doesn't really happen a lot on film sets because, the more extreme you get, the harder it is to be bringing your camera and your lights and all of your gear to that type of environment. So it's pretty rare, but it doesn't happen to me often. But you still want to be prepared for whether it be a snowy environment, depending on what type of climate you live in, and what time of the year it is, or if it's a rainy, muddy environment. Maybe it rained the night before and you're going to this field or a landfill. I mean, we were walking over piles of trash and stuff. It was actually pretty cool. It didn't smell great, but it looked really cool on camera, and it was really neat for the narrative in the story we were telling. But anyways, I digress. So yeah, this was really the only kind of shoe to wear in that environment. It was so muddy, in fact, that it felt like I had suction cups on the bottom of my shoes. Every time I would step, I would sink in like 3 or 4 inches, and the whole bottom of the shoe was just caked in like 2 inches of mud all the way around. It was pretty gnarly, and these shoes just dealt with it like a champ, and it was really, really amazing to wear a boot like this. So these are Columbia's. I've had an amazing experience with these. I've had them for probably like 7 or 8 years now, and they're still in amazing condition, and I just put a beating on them. And that's the kind of boot you'd want for that environment. But I've even worn these on a studio environment, at a lot where it's, perfectly clean floors, and sometimes you need to wear the booties that go around the shoe to keep the dirt from getting on a film set and stuff like that. But yeah, I've even worn these doing that. These are also really, really good, I should mention, for grips and gaffers and key grips and people like that. Not really as necessary for like a person in the camera department or any other department besides like grip and electric, because the grips and electrics are handling the heaviest equipment, and this will protect you from if you drop a piece of equipment on your foot, it won't hurt at all. These things are freaking tough. So you'll see a lot of G&E people wearing shoes like this, but you'll also see a lot of G&E people wearing shoes like this. So it just comes down to preference, and really you can't go wrong as long as you're not wearing like sandals on a film set. Nobody's going to give you weird looks. But if I'm G&Eing, I'll probably wear these shoes over any of the others. All right, so moving on, this is sort of like a medium type of shoe that's really good for any type of role on a film set, and these are really, really highly recommended among people in the industry, specifically the Merrell brand, but really it doesn't matter what brand you get. Something like a hiking shoe. These are waterproof. They have really good soles, really good traction. Actually, probably better traction than boots like these. They're a little bit more aggressive on the sole. A really stiff sole too, and yeah, so I really like them. They provide a lot of support and a lot of padding, and they're very comfortable. However, my one issue with these, same with the boots, which are also waterproof, is they're not breathable at all. So if you're getting a waterproof shoe because you work in a lot of more extreme environments, wet environments, snowy environments, muddy environments, these are great. But if you're working on a hot summer day and you're on your feet for 12 to 14 hours, these aren't super breathable, and your feet can get really hot and sweaty. And wearing these, I was just on a shoot doing a adventure travel series for Amazon Instant Video, shooting for 9 days, over 12 hours every single day wearing these shoes, constantly being on my feet, and it was really uncomfortable by the last 2 or 3 days. I was getting blisters, and I even got athlete's foot at the end. The flight home from that shoot was miserable wearing these shoes, and I couldn't take these shoes off like on the airplane because my feet and the shoes themselves would stink so bad. So yeah, that was not very fun. So that is why, these shoes are awesome, but if you're shooting for a week straight or more on, say, a feature or a television show or something like that in a hot environment, and you're wearing, your long days, then shoes like this aren't super great because they're not breathable. And I didn't really need something like this for the environment that I was in. They were just a little bit too much overkill, and my feet got a little overheated in them. So that's why today I went out and I purchased these shoes, because in a week from now I'm going and shooting another week with that same television show. And so I wanted something that was really lightweight, really breathable, and just very comfortable and good for being on your feet for long periods of time. They're much more flexible on the sole, and they're just like air. They're just like a few ounces, and super, super breathable mesh material, and they're black, which I like. Notice all of my shoes are dark, muted colors, and I'm also wearing all black right now to kind of give you an example of what I would be wearing on a film set, but I like that they're black. Speaking of colors in general, it's generally good to be wearing darker colors when you're on a film set. It keeps you from being in any reflections in any windows or any mirrors, and it also keeps you, like, if you're wearing a bright white shirt and maybe khakis or jeans, then your whole body acts as a bounce source for light, and you can inadvertently be bouncing light back onto the set that the DP doesn't want and the director doesn't want, and that's not good. So if you're in the camera department, or if you're going to actually be on set while they're filming, it's best to be wearing darker clothes. So definitely assistant camera operators or a DP or anybody like that, definitely wear all black if you can. Some black jeans, some black pants, black shoes, black t-shirt, something like that. And if you don't have a black t-shirt but you still want to be wearing black, then or you're not sure if you might need black if you're going to be on set and there are bad reflections, then it's good to just get a black jacket. So this is actually a jacket I got through the television show that I'm working on right now. And it's a really nice jacket, and it's pretty warm, but if you keep it unzipped, then it's also pretty breathable. It's just a nice windbreaker. So it's great to have a windbreaker on set, preferably something that's actually not this material, because that's really loud, and if you move at all when the camera's recording, that's not going to be good. So preferably something that is more of like a fleece or like a cotton type of jacket, something that you can just layer up and you can zip up to make sure you're not in any reflections, and something that's not going to be loud when you're moving around. So yeah, anyways, but yeah, you'll see a lot of people though, like grips and stuff, G&E don't really have to wear black because you're on set to set the lights up, and then you're offset 50 or 100 feet away or in a completely different room when they're actually rolling. So if you're a genie, you don't really have to worry about wearing black as much as if you're like in the camera department. And I do camera department mostly. I'm a cinematographer, so I like to wear all black when I can. So I wanted to pick up some black sneakers. And these shoes are also great too. They're just, dark brown muted colors. They're not going to reflect any color or get any reflections as easily as like a bright green shoe or a white shoe or something like that. So yeah, those are the 3 shoes that I always will wear on a film set for different environments. My go-to shoes still are the Merrells. Like I said, most people on film sets will recommend Merrells. And you actually see a lot of people, every single film set I go on, I at least see one other person wearing a Merrell shoe. I don't know what it is about this brand. They're really good quality, really good support, waterproof. They're just not really breathable. But I love everything else about the shoe. And yeah, so these are still my go-to. But if I know that, say I'm doing like a Steadicam operating, I'm not a Steadicam operator, but say I'm going to be on my feet operating camera, and I want to be a little bit more light on my feet and have a little bit more of a comfortable footwear, then I'll wear something like this. Most of the time you'll see Steadicam operators wearing like, Nike running shoes or Adidas running shoes or something like that when they're actually operating Steadicam. Otherwise, I've seen everything from Merrells to sneakers to boots to sometimes you'll see a director or a DP wearing like a fancy shoe, but I find that so stupid and weird because you're freaking on your feet for 12, 14 hours a day. You don't want to be wearing super fancy shoes. No one on set is ever wearing anything fancy. It's always super laid back and casual, so you want to be comfortable. That's the most important part. So if none of these shoes fit your fancy, the only thing I need to say is just make sure you find something that's comfortable, and then you'll be fine. As long as you're not wearing sandals, you're not going to turn any heads, and you're not going to stand out or be out of place, and that's all that matters. So yeah, that's my advice for footwear to wear on a film set. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you for watching.